So what I wanted to do in this video is share a few different activities, ideas, and resources you could use to talk about La Tomatina with your Spanish classes. Let's get right into it. Hey, my name is Ashley. I blog over at senoritaspanish.com, and if you're new here, I just want to make sure that you know that links to everything that I mentioned are going to be down in the description box below. So there is a book that I have on my classroom library list that I think would be super fun to do as a whole class novel. I've never taught a whole class novel before. It just doesn't fit into my curriculum usually, but this one I think would be fun. I think it would be a great fit for Spanish 2 or Spanish 3 at the beginning of the year, depending on where your levels are at. It's got a pretty low word count, and I think it does a great job of including preterite and imperfect, which is a great refresh for your 3s, or maybe you're just introducing that to your 2s. Either way, I think it's a good option for them. For some more reading, you know that infographics are a great option for your learners because they're so visual. It's not as much language as just like handing them a paragraph, but they can get a lot out of it, and the visual clues are a great kind of scaffold and support for them. And there's a ton of different things that you can do with them. I have a few different infographics linked in my blog post on this, so if you wanted to check that out, I'll also try and put some of them on the screen for you here. And there's different things that you can do with infographics, but I wanted to share one activity in particular that I think could be a lot of fun to do with La Tomatina that kind of ties everything in. Here's how it works. So you're going to project or share the infographics with your students, and your students are going to have a sheet of paper. I personally think this one is a little bit more fun if you have red paper, and I'll explain why in a second. So students are going to look at the infographic, and they're going to write down one of the sentences from the infographic in the target language. Then they're going to crumple up their paper into a ball, and when you say go, they're going to throw their paper across the classroom. And you can have them stand up and like move to like one half and the other half. You can just have them toss them in the air, however you really want to set that up. Then they're going to pick up a ball from the floor, uncrumple it, read the sentence, and really the most straightforward option for them to do is to just translate it, but you could have them do other things, like you could have them, draw a picture next to it to show understanding, something like that. Do something pretty short. Then underneath that, they're going to write a different sentence in the target language, again from that infographic. And if you wanted to, you could switch infographics in between. I would do like a couple of rounds before you switch, just so you can get more mileage and not have to use like a ton of infographics or find even more. Okay, so they're gonna write another sentence in the target language, crumple it back up, and then repeat. And like I said, you can do several rounds of this, and it's a lot of fun, especially since you're getting that kind of like, tomato fight if you're using the red paper. Another option if you want to do a little bit more reading is to use this cultural reading activity that I've created. It's kind of like an infographic, but there's a little bit more information on there than the infographics that I've shared that I found online. This is something that I've used as a subplan or even to just add to my classroom library. But I do have comprehension activities that go with it to use as like a full day lesson plan as well. That one also comes in Spanish and English, so you could do it with all your classes, even your ones right away at the beginning of the year. If you wanted to say, hey everybody, we're gonna learn about this event together, that's there for you. Next, you know that I love virtual field trips. I've talked about this so many times before. My favorite part about virtual field trips is that you can connect where you're talking about with what you were talking about, because so many times I feel like I get students who you're talking about a country and they don't even realize it's a country, or they're like, yeah, South America is a country, and you're like, no. So virtual field trips allows them to connect the map, location, and seeing where it is with what you're talking about, especially with something like La Tomatina, where it's taking a place in a town in Spain that they maybe have never even heard of before. It's pretty little. Anyways, the way virtual field trips work is they're going to click around the map and navigate the different markers. As they click on the markers, they're going to see pictures, videos, short readings, and they're going to do comprehension activities with them. And you can have them do this in Spanish and in Spanish. You can have them do this in English and in Spanish and right back and forth. You can mix and match the languages however you want, which is really nice when you're teaching multiple levels. One more activity I have for you for La Tomatina are boom cards. And if you're not familiar with boom cards are essentially digital task cards that provide instant feedback for students. So as they're doing things, it's going to tell them, ding, you got it right, or like, you didn't get it right. So that's kind of nice for language learning because you don't have to go correct it, and they can find out right away, oh, did I understand this correctly or not? So this set of boom cards starts with some reading and listening to help explain what is La Tomatina, what's happening during that day, and just some information about it. Then they complete some comprehension questions, do a timeline, and some different other activities with the information that they just learned. There, I hope that those are helpful for you. Like I said, I have links to all of those things down in the description box below. So I do have a couple of infographics saved for you on my blog, as well as some videos and listening activities, as well as the virtual field trip and those boom cards that I was just talking about. They're all linked for you in my blog post roundup of La Tomatina activities. If you have any questions about any of these things, or if you want to see more about them, just drop me a comment down below and let me know what you need. All right? Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.